question for the rest of America. Does anyone even care about Nebraska?
Regarding all these farmers that are now crying about possibly losing their farms because they voted for Trump, this is why you absolutely should not feel bad for any of these farmers that voted for Trump. Now, the ones that didn't vote, yes, feel sorry for them, go support them, do whatever you need to do. But the ones that voted for Trump, do not feel sorry for them, and let me tell you why. I am a builder, and I've been building shit in Oklahoma City going on like 20 years now, and farmers are not stupid. If you have the ability to manage a farm and understand the weather, the climate, your machinery, the chemistry that goes into your crops, you are not a stupid person. You're just not. And especially when you come from generational farming, you have the ability to look ahead and predict what you need to survive. And so when you have two candidates where you have Kamala Harris on one side giving you a whole fucking list of shit that she's going to do for you and make your life better, and then you have Trump on the other side who can't even come out with a normal sounding sentence, and you still vote for that guy, and you are a farmer, you are either racist or sexist or both. And they're only crying now because now they are being treated exactly how they voted for other people to be treated. Got that? They are being treated how they voted for other minorities, people of color, everybody else, poor people, sick people. That's how they voted for other people to be treated. And now they're the ones being treated that way by losing their livelihood, their homes, their income, their farms. So do not feel sorry for them. This is exactly what they had coming. Quick follow-up as to why exactly would Trump be doing this to farmers anyways, and I'm guessing 99% chance it's because he wants to bankrupt farms so his corporate buddies can come in and do a land grab. Basically what you have been seeing the last few years, major companies buying up a bunch of rental houses and jacking up the price of rents, and it's all going to corporations. It's probably something similar to let these farms go to foreclosure and his corporate buddies be able to come in, swoop them up, and now you've got bigger companies involved in more of our day-to-day food.
I have a question for the rest of America. Does anyone even care about Nebraska?
You know, I'm seeing all these videos right now where all these farmers are crying about not getting no help right now. You know what? Let me ask you something. When have you ever heard of a black farmer crying about it? Never. And you want to know why? Because they ain't never got no help in the first place. That's right. USDA's literally admitted to discriminating against black farmers. And literally black farmers had to sue, thousands of them, to get what white farmers are handed for free. And fast forward to today, all these farmers crying that they can't get no help. You see, black farmers, they've been struggling. Y'all just now feeling what they've been feeling for over 100 years. Black farmers, they used to own over 19 million acres of land. But guess what? Systematic racism, denied loans, shady politicians, and legal loopholes wiped them all out. Yeah. And now they're 1% of America's farmland. When the government finally tried to pass relief for the black folk back in 2021, white farmers sued to block it, claimed it was reverse discrimination. Make that make sense. So, you know, next time you see folks complaining about farm aid, why don't you ask them, where's the help for the black farmers? Ask them why their struggle is just now important when others have been suffering for centuries.
I have a question for the rest of America. Does anyone even care about Nebraska? Does anyone even care?
Nah. Next question.
I don't know if y'all have been keeping up with Nebraska farmer talk, but they are getting exactly what they voted for. Nebraskan farmers overwhelmingly supported and voted for Donald Trump. The same Donald Trump who ran a campaign with one of the biggest promises being the deportation of illegal immigrants. Mind you, most of the people who work on their farms are illegal immigrants. So now, months after the open book test, they're finally starting to study, and they're realizing that if Trump implements his mass deportation plan, they are going to lose a majority of their workers. And if they lose a majority of their workers and their fields become as empty as a J-Lo concert, they will go bankrupt. Well, so now they're on here crying and complaining about how they're going to lose their farms, and nobody seems to care. I'm going to hold your hand with a napkin in between when I say this. We don't care because you showed that you don't care first. You are getting exactly what you voted for. Trump was very loud about his plans for mass deportation, but because your brain is as smooth as satin and your last two brain cells are fighting for 10th place, you weren't able to put two and two together. So now they're on here crying and complaining to us, asking us why we don't care that they're about to have concept of a farm. Stinkabutt, what do you want us to do? Have you considered pulling yourself up by your bootstraps? Maybe round up your couslings, your sister wives, your husbands. Y'all work in the farms. Unfortunately, there's been a tariff placed on thoughts and prayers, so I don't have those for you, but I did write a song for you. Old Nebraskans had a farm. ADIOS. Hope this Peace and love. Talk to you later.
Oh, those that voted for Trump, they're quiet now. My grandma's regretting it. They're taking down their flags. And I had like a clapback video, if you will. And my older son goes, Mom, that is not good. He goes, that sounds super political. Like, do not post that. Basically, it's cringe, if you will. And here's what I want to tell you. Your grandma is no longer discussing it with you because she doesn't want to lose her granddaughter. Your dad is no longer discussing it with you because he doesn't want to lose his daughter or his son. Here's the reality. You guys mean more to your family than them saying, I was right, this is what I voted for. It's not worth it.
So you love them so much, you're just going to lie and pretend to no longer support this administration after everything they've done to us. And you think that is somehow acceptable. That somehow makes it okay that you voted against all of those people that you love. Every woman, your daughter, your sisters, your grandma, your mother, yourself. You voted against every single one of those. Any immigrants, even legal immigrants that you may be friends with or consider family, you voted against them. Every gay person, every person of color, you voted against everyone that isn't a straight white Christian man. And you know you did because you're hiding the fact that you voted for that monster in order to keep them in your life. So you know what you did was wrong. You know what you did caused great harm. Hiding it will do nothing for you. We will never forget who voted for him. Ever. And neither should you. You should look yourself in the mirror and start asking the hard questions because he's torn this country to the motherfucking ground in a month and a half. Hurt millions and millions and millions of Americans, including the ones that voted for him. Farms are in shambles. The police, fucked. They defunded the goddamn police. Everything they said the left was gonna do. And here you are still talking about hiding the fact that you voted for this monster, this Nazi, to keep the people you love in your life, even though you voted to fuck them over. Take a hard look in the mirror. For the love of God, take a hard look in the mirror.
Today I want to recognize what a good job the rich white people have done at brainwashing the poor white people. The rich whites have done a wonderful job exploiting the poor whites in an effort to further their narrative and therefore generate more wealth. Like, take racism, for example. The rich white people literally said, if we can convince the poor white people that we're equals and we can keep them hating the black people, then they'll oppress the black people and think that they're equal with us and we won't have to do any work. As fucked up as it is, they killed two birds with one stone and were able to oppress two people at the same time. And the kicker is, this system is sustained by lack of education and ignorance. So the rich white people literally said it pays us to not educate these people. Why do you think it's so hard to get reliable internet access in rural America? Why do the worst test scores come from inner city schools and rural county schools? Why is school funding based off of property taxes? My point is, capitalism exacerbates racism. Point is, capitalism exacerbates racism.
You know what I noticed about a lot of these videos is the fact that the main groups who are out there complaining at this moment in time on social media are the exact ones who wanted to vote against everybody because they thought specifically this election was going to purely benefit them. It was going to move them forward. It was going to put them at the top of the mountain. It was going to make them the cream of the crop. And now you have a lot of people on social media regretting that decision. You have white people, well, I'm sorry, let me go back. You have white women regretting their decision because they thought that if they did whatever they needed to do, sacrifice whatever they needed to sacrifice, like they always do, in order for the men that they love, the men of their community, that they were going to be paid handsomely. And they found out that they were stripped of everything, just a little bit left of the crown. They're still up there, but they pretty much been stripped. Affirmative action, DEI, and all of these other initiatives that primarily they themselves were the primary beneficiaries of, and not the black community, not the black majority. They themselves ended up voting against themselves. So you're not going to see so many more boss babes, boss chicks, all of these, women in higher ranked positions because white women were the ones to make sure to stop that because they wanted to put all of their men back into those positions. Then you also had the farmers who wanted to, vote for Trump, rule Appalachia, America, those small towns directly out there, the real America, right? And they decided to vote against their own best interest, even though they themselves benefit from government assistance, given the areas that they are in. And again, this is a problem that they created. No matter how much black Americans tried to tell people, hey, don't do this. Think about this. Do a little bit more research. Don't be too impatient, especially above anything else. Don't vote against yourself in your own best interest. And you're looking at it. You have 4 groups of people, both men and women, Caucasian, both men and women, Latin, both men and women, Asian, both men and women, Native American, who overwhelmingly voted for the situation and this problem to take place. And at the end of the day, you're going to have these exact same people online trying to bring awareness and trying to get black Americans to come directly in there and clean up their mess, to try to, go directly in with them and fix the problem, because quote unquote, this is now an American problem, even though all of these groups voted for their own best interests and decided that they wanted to hinder and vote against and harm the black community. It's crazy work. But yet again, this is normally how America works and how America sees black Americans. They don't view them important from the get-go, from the start. They view them important when they need them the most, when it is that they messed up, when it is that they need a cleanup crew. And here we are. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this video and everything that I stated in the comment description below. And as always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video.